planes. It's coming after me.
It's Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live at 6 o'clock. It comes from some godforsaken place, wedged between Altona Meadows and Point Cook.
Atomic hydrogen weapons, capable of wiping cities, countries off the face of the earth, are completely ineffective against this.
Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live.
There it is now, attacking the United Nations building.
Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live.
Bird's after us, chasing us. How are you doing? For God's sake, hurry, man. It's catching up with us fast.
Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live. The 4:15 to Cranbourne has been cancelled today.
Atomic hydrogen weapons, capable of wiping cities, countries off the face of the earth, are completely ineffective against this.
Melbourne Musos, Facebook Live. Hello, everybody! Oh, hello, everybody. My name's Chris Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facebook Live on this beautiful Friday, I think. Anyway, yeah, my name's Chris Quinlan. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. Hello, everybody. Mwah. There you go. What that was. Ooh, very nice beat indeed in 6/4. And what happens is tonight's show, I'm going to be centering on 3 dear people. A little bit of a sequel for last week because of the dear Kate Bush. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It didn't hurt me. Oh, 1985. There you go. And I talked about that last week. And I'm also going to talk about 2 drummers that are very dear to me, and I love them very, very much. And they are, 1, Rob Hirst, Midnight Oil, and Budgie from Siouxsie and the Banshees. Now, arguably, the Halcyon times, if that's the way it is I'm going to concentrate on the years 1980 to 1985. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And what goes on? Arguably, Siouxsie and the Banshees were at the absolute peak with between those years. They were just wonderful stuff. 1980 to 85, oh boy, 40-something years ago now. And what you also have is Rob Hirst with Midnight Oil, all the lads, 1098, Red Sails in the Sunset. Oh my God, what a time it was. They even did a documentary about 1984 and what kind of a year it was for music, not only for Midnight Oil, but generally as well. But all of this has been because of the phenomenon of Kate Bush coming back into the charts with Running Up the Hill. And it's extraordinary, and I love it very much. It's like, oh, thank you, that kind of stuff. So what I'll do to talk about, or what I'll talk about tonight, is actually tom-toms. When you're looking at those three dear people, there's a lot of tom-tom work. Oh. There it is there. Oh, blasting away. Of course, I pulled out my dear Evelyn Glennie sticks again. She's beautiful too. Oh, my Lord, look at the rim shots on that one. I show it all the time. I'm very proud. They haven't broken yet. There it is. Now, pardon my croaky voice. So what happens is I'm going to take you through a couple of things. I'm going to talk about each of these dear people, but I'm going to concentrate on Budgie for a little bit because we all love Rob Hirst. He's he probably is my favourite Australian drummer. A lot of you dear fellow drummers out there will probably think I'd be talking about someone who can play very fast double strokes and look what I can do here and all that. Nah, Robert Hirst is always the one. Just the power and the passion. Boo. That was loose and goosey. But when you're dealing with things like older than Kosciuszko, down one down to Alice Springs, oh, powerhouse. Now what goes on? I'm going to build it up. Bottom up. Let's take a basic rock beat. Can I leave the triggers in tonight? Is that okay? So there's your normal rock beat, except I'm slapping in a rim shot here, Tim Colopy, if you're watching. The room clearers. Now, what can you do with that? Basic rock beat. And all I've done is put the right hand on the tom-tom, right? One of the things is to get not only the coordination of being able to put, of course, a rock beat in and getting it, powerful and, as good as you can get it. But there's also a little bit of a horizontal coordination as well, that kind of thing. Because what happens is when you're playing a normal beat, that's one thing. Then move around. There it is there. And I was talking about the bottom thing with Bonzo's birthday party the other week, the hi-hat. There you go. So what starts to happen is from this, nothing wrong with that. Beautiful in the right places, you see. When you want to make a bit of a statement like you would do in the 80s, put in the rim shot, mate. There it is there. So what you've got is you can see that when you're dealing with the coordination of it all. You've got a couple of things that are static in one place, and then the right hand is going for a bit of a spin around, the giant Doris. I did a clip today for those of you who didn't see it, and it's based on the giant claw. Remember the giant claw? And all that. And at the end, the claw goes down into the sea like that. Anyway, I did a little clip, so I just made it the giant Doris. Hello, darling, there you go. Harold Ripper, 1978. How you going, Margaret? Moving right along. So what happens is, let me get you into this a little bit. When you are playing your basic rock beat, that is fantastic. Start to just... Paramadoodle! Quick thing before I get into Budgie. What happens is when you're dealing with a paradiddle, right, left, right, left, left, you've got three little components. You've got the right, left, right, double, left, right, left. There's three little. There it is there. Now, what happens, I'm going to go into talking a little bit about the biography there. Once again, pardon my croaky voice. It's going around, isn't it? Bloody hell. Yeah. Budgie from Siouxsie and the Banshees, one of my favourite drummers. Oh boy. Whenever I talk about drummers and things, I've said in the past on previous face chookeries that I often deal in pairs. Like in the 60s, there seemed to be there was Ringo and Charlie Watts. But there was also Keith Moon and Mitch Mitchell, who were very flamboyant drummers. During the 1970s, there seemed to be John Bonham and Ian Pace, that kind of thing. And on it goes. So I always think of Budgie like I do with Rob Hirst in a pair, because they were fantastic at what the subject of tonight is the tom-tom work, so much so that during the years of 1980 to 85, which I'm zeroing in on, so many tom-toms. Oh, you gotta love it. The giant Doris would have been very happy in those days. Anyway, Budgie, musician, I'm going to talk about him a little bit because I like him so. Peter Edward Clark, born 21st of August 1957. Known professionally as Budgie, is an English drummer. He is the co-founder of The Creatures, which is kind of like a Siouxsie and the Banshees spin-off. There were plenty of drummers. It was just Siouxsie Sue and Budgie, and it was just drums and vocals. Ooh, I've got The Feast on vinyl out the back there. Wow. The neighbours love that one. Ooh, he was the drummer of the Slits in 1979. He was then a member of the band Siouxsie and the Banshees from 1979 to 1996. Budgie worked with other musicians including John Cale, Leonard Ito, formerly of the Kodo Drummers, John Grant and Anonhi with Hercules and Love Affair. In 2013, Spin magazine rated him at number 28 in their list of 100 greatest drummers of alternative music. Okay. That's what you've got there. Writing post-punk introduced a lot of amazing drummers. I used to call it post-punk. I used to call it new wave. I thought it was new wave. Anyway, there you go. Let's not quibble. But none more influential than Budgie. With the Banshees, Budgie didn't just play rhythms. He played hooks and leads. Brilliant parts that set the songs on fire. It took them higher. Ha 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 ha. His tom-tom intensive approach, subject of the show tonight, was enlightened by his awareness of world music. Spin magazine considered his most booming moment to be Into the Light from 1981's Juju album, saying Budgie's drums Budgie drums up a marvel of kinetic syncopation and invention. Oh God, he ate a dictionary to write that, didn't he? Stuart Copeland of the Police described Budgie's playing as very economical and offbeat, adding, Budgie didn't play your standard hi-hat kick snare. There were a lot of tom-toms and a big throb. Okay, all right, I'll leave that one alone. Ariup of the Slits felt that he was a very sensitive drummer, saying he could go from reggae to punk to funk to jazz, but still very steady. Larry Mullen Jr. of U2 qualified Budgie as one of the greats for his work with the Banshees. New Musical Express readers voted Budgie the best drummer of 1983. Music journalist David Kavanagh commented that Terry Chambers was, along with Budgie of Siouxsie and the Banshees, the outstanding English drummer of the post-punk era, New Wave. Ian McCulloch said that Echo and the Bunnymen's drummer, Peter De Freitas, loved his drumming. So there you go. Budgie. Now what happens is when you're listening to Budgie play, there's a series of albums that you want to check out. I've already mentioned Juju, but I'm going to go through. This is 1980 to 1985. Okay, this is because of the resurgence of the love and popularity of Kate Bush, who I am getting to. What happens is with Budgie, there was the Kaleidoscope album, there's the Juju album, Kiss in the Dream House, and Hyena. Oh, I love Hyena. That's a good album, that one. And thank you very much. And what happens is the aforementioned. You see, what happens is with some of the tunes, like mentioned Into the Light, you can actually hear him playing along to the melody. It's very prog in its own new wave way. So what you'd have is you might have this. Here's your basic rock beat with the triggers. Okay. Fine. Put the left hand in. Same thing. Up with the hi-hat in on 2 and 4. Bit of paradiddling. Then there you have it, you see. So all that started from there. So this is the horizontal coordination. It might even end up being the title of the show, I don't know. So, but what starts to happen is when you're taking a basic beat, when I went to that, why not leave the left hand there? What's that track? Is that off Juju? First track, is it? Oh, there you go. So when you're dealing with always remember that if you're doing it like that, the right hand is your pivot, and if you're going to say go to the toms, like. Now I'm doing Zappa. That's We Are Not Alone, Chad Wackerman from the Man from Utopia album. Da 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 da. 2 different keys. Da 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 da. Ah, they were the best 2 keys I've ever heard. Okay, there you go. So that's what you've got there. Now, that's Budgie. I'll be coming back to Budgie a little bit there. Now, what we have is Dear Rob Hirst. And I do see Rob Hirst and Budgie like a pair. Arguably, they're just the scintillating time between 1980 to 85. I've talked about the Siouxsie and the Banshees albums there. And if I'm going to go down the track of Midnight Oil, we've got Place Without a Postcard, 1098, and Red Sails in the Sunset with da-da-da-boom-boom. Older than Kosciuszko. Like that. Rob Hirst, by this stage, had the 3 toms up, like the giant Doris, and what? He also had the electronic pads, like that. So he had the pads up as well. So what would happen is, once again, you've got your beat. Oh, Rob Hirst from up here. Right? There you go. Got to hit the tonic there, mate. Ooh! So that's what you've got, you see. So I'm whacking away tonight. There you go. But what would happen is that, once again, you try and move around. It's a little bit more trickier than you think when you're trying to keep a backbeat there. One of the things that can happen sometimes is that when you're doing the typical fill-in, there's a joke around called the cosmic downbeat, where you might be going doing the typical fill-in, but it might be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, fill-in time. Oh, that kind of thing. With my younger students, what happens is when you're first teaching, a common thing for my brethren, all the drum teachers out there, is the crash cymbal. A lot of people think, when they're starting out, that that's the end of the fill. It is. And then you start the beat. That is the start of the beat. And there you go. So often that happens. So it's one of those things. But sometimes what happens with fill-ins and things, you want to keep the backbeat there. You know, even if you're doing fill-in. So you might be going, bum. Oh, that felt good. Oh, I feel excited. There it is there. And there you go. So one of the things about Rob Hirst and people like that is that backbeat. The groove and the push and the enthusiasm. Slow it down a bit. And now we're on to Kate Bush. I explained it last week, but I'll do it again if you like. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Semi-quaver grouping. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1. You know what best as is. You get that extra bit in. There you go, beautiful. Okay, so that's what goes on there. Now I explained that last week. It's just your right hand doing that, and that's fine. One of the things about Kate Bush now that we're working through into that, is that she was very drummy. Okay, especially during those years. Now we know her best as Heathcliff. That's It's Kathy! I've come home! Get me a packet of Winnie Blues, I'm cold! Heathcliff! Muttley. And all that. And then you have babushka, 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 hi, hi. And there you go. Hello, audience. And that's what you have there. And I was so sad yesterday. I had dear Anne Norman, if you're watching, around here at the studio doing some things with her beautiful shakuhachi and stuff. And I mentioned audience, and she said, "You do know that that's a word?" I said, "No, I thought I made it up." Oh, audience. I was very sad, pouting. There you go. But a great day, and I hope you're doing fine. And I hope everything we're going to do all the editing over the weekend. Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, there you go. Now, what happens is that you had that and babushka, woo, and all that stuff. But the album before The Hounds of Love, of which was on, was an album called The Dreaming, and that was a good album. I love that album. And it starts off with this wonderful beat in 6/4. It just goes bang. And the first track is called Sat in Your Lap. Oh, it's a beaut. No, I better stop saying it. I'm too much like Uncle Arthur now. And it's what 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 and 6 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 and yeah. And what happens with that is then it goes into 4/4. And then into a soul beat. Ooh, there you go. And now here's a little thing that I only found out today during my research when I was doing everything, because I've got the album. And what goes on is that I was just looking around and just making sure of everything and writing it all down, taking my notes, everything's nice. And I saw the Sat in Your Lap, Kate Bush's Sat in Your Lap, but the single version, which was another mix, a second kind of mix. And the drums, I don't mind saying it, were beautiful. They were right out there. And it was bang, 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 bang. Toms, mate, toms. And I nearly said, Tom City. Marcus, keep your eyes on the bargain, mate. And what happens? Oh! Marcus Sastamoinen has released his single, Whoa, today. And please go check it out. Uncredited as vocals, but he's very kind. I think all I had to do was, whoa, yeah! It was a bit like that, so it was great, but there's some beautiful musicians on it, and please go check it out. Very topical and very good. There you go. Mwah! There you are there. So, shameless plugging, but that's what we do here. Not so shameless, they're Melbourne Musos. That's why it's plural and not singular. There it is. So what goes on? And, there's some of you typing right now, I know. Oh, but what goes on, that's Kate Bush's Sat in Your Lap, which is from the Dreaming album. Get your tongue into place, Chris. The Dreaming album, which was the album released in 1982. And is the album that predates Hounds of Love, which is the, of course. there it is there. I hope you enjoyed it. So what goes on is there's that. Her big albums, Kate Bush's big albums between 1980 and 85 was Never Forever, The Dreaming, and of course Hounds of Love, which is the big phenomenon at the moment. And there you go. I hope I've helped you with the sat in your lap thing. It's when that came out, it's one of those wonderful things. One of those albums where you just go, it's 82, so I've got my record needle, and I went, bang! Oh! It was like that. It just went, the album straight out of the blocks, bang! And brilliant stuff. So please check it out. If you're loving Kate Bush Running Up the Hill, if it's the first time, because it is, we're talking on the way to 40 years ago, and it's the first time, go back one album. I mean, Hounds of Love is her masterpiece. I mean, every album is beautiful, but that album, it just sends you on a journey. And you go, oh my Lord, it's beautiful. And I'm doing too much. And what happens, I'll love and leave you now because I'm already up to time. It went so fast tonight because I love the people that I'm talking. I love everyone, but I love these people very, very much. And what it is if you love the beat of Running Up and Hill, if you love the toms, check the album out before. If you love the power and the passion, go to Red Sails in the Sunset, you know. Like, older than Kosciuszko, I went back to Alice Spring. Bam, 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 bam. Paradiddles there, dear. And what happens is when you're hearing Budgie, what's that, Kiss in the Dream House? And don't forget that when you're doing this, it goes to that, up. You can also do it like... There it is, you see. So I'm out of here now. So what I've got here is there's... Kate! Oh, I do love her so. So, my name is Chris Quinlan. This is Melbourne Musos Face Shook Live. I'll go to work and have this up tomorrow on the Face Shookeries and the YouTubes and stuff. One of the things is it might be just a few weeks until it's on Channel 31 at the new time of Wednesdays at 10:30, followed by Impromptu TV, which was made by all beautiful people during the Melbourne 6 lockdowns. Not quite it's music, it's spoken word, it's funny, it could be a bit sad. It wasn't all fun and games during 6 lockdowns, was it? Ugh. So, I'm loving and leaving you. And here's another Kate.
Hey, Cliff! It's me, it's Kathy! I've come home from work! It's so cold!
I'll see you all later.
Go down to 7-Eleven and get me a packet of Winnie Blues, you bastard! Hey, Cliff! It's me! I'm Kathy! I've come home! If you don't come home with those smokes, you're in the bloody doghouse!